Right. What's wrong with that?
That was going to be my point.
That's amazing.
That was going to be my point, because in 25 years, that little boy in the kitchen, that's considered sexy.
I play with a kitchen set.
But
I don't know how to cook.
See,
I can't make you a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh my God.
See?
And I played with a kitchen set.
See
you know
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
welcome to the least favorite podcast featuring
Natalie
and
Denzil.
let's go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Everyone's good. We doing mic check, but
Mic check.
1 2.
nobody's making sure that shit
Somebody
is working.
mic check.
The mic's on. Like,
Is someone
we
checking?
going with faith right now.
Is it?
Going off
I
faith.
think he's fine.
We're going off.
We're going on faith. God be with us. No, all right. No, so I think we could talk about it. I didn't think you and I would have been cool given the situation, but then you added me on Instagram, and I was like, I remember seeing it, and I'm like, oh shit.
That caught you off guard?
Yeah, in a way, I was like, is she trying to do some shit right now? Like, I didn't know.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm like, knowing women,
Yeah.
if they have beef with one and you're friends with the one they got beef with, they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to fucking talk to this bitch. So whatever. But then I'm like, all right, you cool. And then me and you spoke and we kind of hashed everything out. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, if she don't care, I don't care. Because I don't
Yeah.
really get involved in other people's drama either.
Yeah, that's
Like,
how it felt
your beef
about
don't
it.
automatically become my beef.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, welcome back. So I have my friend Cynthia here, and we got Kadeem and Denzil here. So we're just gonna get right into it. All right. So we were talking about the talking stage last week. So I don't even know how to really pose this question, but you guys had mentioned that the talking stage should be 3 months as a guy. But now we had a conversation off mic, off air, and Anthony had mentioned that if a girl asks him, like, what are we? That he's like, ugh, like he's annoyed, like fuck that shit. And it turns him off. Do you guys feel the same way? If a girl asks you, what are we? After whatever.
It depends on how I feel about the girl.
Okay.
If she's someone that I really like and she asks me that, then I won't be annoyed. But if it's somebody that I'm just having fun with, I might be a little annoyed.
Okay.
Same. Like, if we just having fun and I had like no intentions of this going anywhere, if I had no thoughts of it and that question was to be posed, it would kind of like throw me off, because now, like, because you know me, like when I go there, like I go there, and like if I'm just having fun, I'm just having fun. But I don't know, like if that's the only time it would really like kind of like throw me off.
Do you ask? No, not ask. Do you tell the girl that you're just having fun?
Yeah.
You tell her in the beginning? Because then it's like, if you told her in the beginning, then she probably wouldn't even ask you, what are we?
Nah.
Right? Or does she?
It comes up.
Because all right.
Feelings feelings grow over time.
From experience, you guys can have a complete agreement in the beginning. But no matter what, somebody is gonna grow feelings.
Yeah.
And then that's when what are we starts to.
I'm laughing because that's me. I'm like, yeah, like we're good, everything's casual, no problem. And then after a while, I'm like,
week 3.
I know he don't think I'm gonna be waiting around
Yeah.
for 6 months to a year now. Like I think women, we get in our own heads, and that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
We get in our own heads. Like, if I don't say something, he's gonna think I always want to just chill and kick it and not make this anything more. Like, I can't allow this to continue much longer. And that's where the question comes up. Like, what are we?
But then it's like, if we already had this agreement from the beginning laid out that we're not going to go any further than what we're doing, then why are these thoughts starting to develop in your head?
I think we just don't want... We're just afraid that y'all just going to get so comfortable that nothing will ever grow from it.
But that's when you have to communicate that somewhere down the line.
That's how we communicate is, what are we?
But here's
Communication.
because it's like, yo, in our heads, it's like, yo, all right, we said that we're not going to do anything. We just going to be at this level right here.
Yeah.
Basic grounds, right? We agreed on that. We didn't have any discussions of taking things to the next level within however long we were dealing with each other. So when you hit us with the what are we, that's like OD off guard. It's like, fam, like you didn't hint at it. Maybe if you did, it's like you weren't direct with it.
Okay.
You got to be direct. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because the agreement was direct.
Yeah.
Right.
So anything that's gonna, any renegotiations or anything that's gonna veto the contract, it has to be discussed.
So what if she was to be like...
To me, dropping bombs.
Right. Oh, wait. Let's get him. What would you do if a girl was like, then if she changed her approach, like, all right, I know we agreed to this, but lately I feel like my emotions have gotten stronger, and I'm fine with still taking it slow, but I want you to know, like, I'm not the type of woman who's just gonna be taking it slow for a super long time. Like, eventually I'm gonna need some type of commitment. Like, is that a better way to come in?
I
Yeah,
can respect that.
yeah, I would respect that way better than you just saying like, hey, like, what are we?
Or we've been doing this and you still haven't asked me to
Yeah,
be.
like-
'Cause it's like
Girls can be
that-
a little
Because
aggressive.
It's a head scratcher, 'cause
that
it's like-
tells me that you had expectations set in your head,
Right.
when we were just having fun,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least if we would have negotiated this at the beginning, like Kadeem said,
Mm-hmm.
there would be no confusion later on. You know what I'm saying? After we've been having fun and now we in our feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to
Yeah,
add?
so I wanted to add to that.
Yeah.
So what if it's the opposite? What if from the beginning, you guys, you see potential in this person, and you are exploring your options, and the person basically tells you, are you exploring your options, but you're still not sure 100%, because I think with the online dating thing, I think it's so quick to drop somebody. Like, you meet
Yeah.
somebody and it's quick, like, next, oh, this person breathed wrong, next.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to continue exploring your options. At what point, like, if she brings that up, would you be like automatically like, okay, I'm gonna stop exploring my options? Or
I mean, if it makes sense for me too, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if she's doing things that I'm looking for, you get what I mean?
But you wouldn't feel like it's coerced. Not that like
If we was dealing with each other for a while, and you're the main person that I'm dealing with,
yeah.
then I wouldn't feel any type of way.
Okay.
Okay. And obviously, if you like her,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna bother you.
If I'm into you too at the same time, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I think that's what it really boils down to. I feel like it's really how the other person feels about you. Because if they like you and they think you're worth it, you could kind of get away with certain things. They're gonna let certain things slide. So, like, even if your delivery is off and you kind of just come out like, what are we? I think if the person really likes you, they're not gonna take it any type of way.
Yeah.
They might tell you to maybe change your approach for the next time, but I don't think they're gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
You know?
but
You know what's also a little difficult? Dating preference. Like, my dating preference is dating one person at a time.
I
Me
like
too.
to be like that too.
me too.
I
One
can't,
person at a
cannot
time.
date
I can't
multiple
juggle.
people at the
hard.
same time.
Can't juggle.
That's it's kind of it's
Can't
Because
juggle.
you know what
kinda
it is?
difficult.
I almost feel like I'm kind of dragging the other person, like I'm leading the other person on, and I'm
Yeah.
not that interested.
Yeah.
You know, you always lean more towards one than the other. So it's like, what am I really doing?
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna
Right.
waste this person's time if I'm really feeling this one.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it. Do you multi-date? You?
not
No?
really.
So we all
'Cause
kinda on the
it's kind of
same-
it's kind of hard for me to like give that much attention. It's a lot of attention.
A lot.
Women
It is.
women demand a lot of attention.
We do.
So to have multiple, that's a lot of work, yo.
It's a
I'm not
lot.
gonna
You
lie.
already got a full-time job.
Yeah.
work, and then on top of that, doing my what I consider my career,
Yeah, your
my music,
passion.
my passion, and then dating somebody, and then trying to find other ways to like make money and invest, and then try to on top of that adding one or two more other people to be dating at the same time. That's a lot because I like to play my 2K and all of that. That's gonna be cutting into my 2K time.
So do you feel like men, because now you just brought up another question, do you feel like men who have multiple women, they're just not busy enough? Like, they just need women to fill their time because they got nothing.
Nah, they good at
Yeah, they-
focusing on
Multitasking?
I cannot.
I can't. That's a lot. Like,
It
after
is.
work, I'm tired. I don't even want to talk to one person.
I don't even answer the text messages at one point.
Let
I'm like, whatever.
alone multiple. Like, I don't know. Maybe we're getting
So
older.
you're dating to be in a relationship. You're not dating to date.
I think I date to be in a
That's-
relationship.
That's
Pretty
if,
much.
that's if I'm dating to be in a relationship.
Because
yeah.
if I'm not dating, if I don't want to be in a relationship, then for me, I feel like I won't date. I'll just stay single. I
But
won't
even
have
if I'm
anybody.
having fun, I'm just having fun with that one person. I'm not having fun with numerous people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's still work for me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
It's type nasty out here. You gotta
Yeah,
be
it gotta be, yeah. Have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can, if you're dating multiple people, whatever, and you're just hanging out, you can just be straight up with them, like, yo, I'm just talking. I talk to you when I talk to you, kind of thing. It ain't like not that serious. You know what I'm saying? And You don't gotta hit them up every day.
Nah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You could do that.
If I'm just dating someone, I'm not talking to them all the time.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why.
What if you are talking all the time?
That's why I agreed with you. Like that's
dating.
that's if I'm dating to be in a relationship. Then I'll date one person at a time. But if I'm just dating just to date, then the hell, like
But see,
that's different. Because I'm not obligated to give that attention.
I get the other side too, like from the woman who says, like, what are we? Because females, like they go off, like, I feel like they go off emotion most of the time, and like
All the time.
All the time.
all right, I said most of the time, just
Nah, I appreciate that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, but
Yeah, keep talking.
what was I saying?
Like you feel like females go off emotion.
Yeah, females go off emotion, so like that plays in their head a lot in a situation that where they're enjoying themselves, you know what I'm saying, and they need answers. When they get in their head a lot, like it's most of the time it's questions, and they need answers to those questions.
Women don't like not knowing shit.
Exactly.
Nope.
And going into situations blind, like that's like they do not fuck with that shit. Meanwhile, like the man, like they're like, no, everything's cool. We vibing. There's no beef or whatever. Why should we even question things right now?
Right.
That's where we at with it. But like, I get the female side because like, like you want to make sense of things. You don't want to just be out here. And she wants to know, like, if like she may want to know, like, if should I even really like invest my feelings or anything else into this? Because if not, I can then put my interests somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so just for the sake of understanding, like I get it. And a dude like me, just knowing myself, I mean, I need sometimes I may need that female to ask that question, like, what are we? Because I know myself, like I may get complacent and comfortable, like you said, like, and there's no telling where that situation may go.
Yeah.
If you just, kind of like just going with the flow of things, you know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
a lot
Like,
of men get comfortable, or at least as a woman, like I've heard a lot of stories of men getting comfortable, and then eventually, like the woman, she's still quiet for years, she didn't say anything, and then she's met, like they're living together, they have kids. She's frustrated because she still feels like there's no commitment, like he hasn't proposed to her, he hasn't married her, and they get like, what are we doing? But it's like, maybe you should have probably said you wanted marriage, because they're thinking, oh, I didn't think you wanted to get married. That's why I didn't ask you. That's why I didn't propose. I thought we were good the way we are, like living together, just having, like raising kids, whatever. So I just feel like it's good. In general, to wrap this up, we always say like, just communicate. But like, that it sounds simple, but that's really all you have to do. Like, just fucking communicate what it is you want early. But it does depend on your delivery and your approach. Because you can't expect the other person to read your mind either.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not fair to put that on them.
Yeah, but saying like someone that they live together, they have kids together, fuck, they already married.
There's women.
That's crazy.
But women don't see it like that. They're like, we're
No,
not
they don't
married
see
and
it
you
like
didn't
that.
give me the ring.
You still
Or
waiting around and you haven't said nothing? Yeah,
Yeah.
you on your own in that one. That's your fault. 'Cause you
yeah, it is
retarded.
her fault. It is her
Y'all
fault.
together
Yeah.
for multiple
Yeah.
years with
Because
kids.
it's like Denzel said, he knows that he would get comfortable if the woman didn't ask or tell him anything, right? A lot of men are like that. So it's like, they don't even mean any harm. Like, they're not trying to do the woman dirty. They're not even playing her. They're probably super faithful. They come home every night. They provide, whatever. But he's like, all right, she never mentioned marriage, so we don't got to fucking get married. That's it.
Well, see, that's a different level though. We just want dating. Like, you want a whole
Yeah.
that's a crazy.
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah,
sorry.
marriage, that's a whole different thing.
I also feel like you gotta set some type of boundaries. You can't be doing wife duties out there and being a
Yeah.
girlfriend. Having kids, moving in together, that's all signs of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at what point should you stop and say, no, wait, we're not gonna move in together. I wanna get engaged first. I wanna get married, you know? And I feel like we get complacent and we just let things go.
Yeah, we
and
do.
then we dug that hole. Now we, you know?
Yeah, for the sake of like being cool or not stressing him out and just like going with the flow, like
No,
you guys
going with the
said.
flow.
And it's like, I don't really want to go with the flow for that long. I just don't like. But anyway, I wanted to move on to another topic. So we, Denzel, you sent a meme about a little boy. He was cooking with the kitchen set.
Yeah.
And a lot of people had like a lot of negative things to say. I'm gonna read some of the things they had to say. Give me a minute. Let me pull it up.
Some of those reactions was funny, but I didn't like the whole negative connotation to it. Like they're giving this little, well, they're not giving him flack, but like they're giving their parents flack for having him play with a kitchen set. Like he's playing with a whole kitchen set, and he looks like he's like what, like 5?
Yeah. So it says y'all need to stay in your son's life. Oh, like you men need to stay in your son's lives. For some strange reason, these single mothers think it's okay to buy their son kitchen set. This person couldn't even write properly. What they ran out of toolbox sets. Okay, whatever. Then someone said, a lot of the animosity behind that baby's kitchen set is that a lot of these people attacking a child are still in the white refrigerator leg of the race. And well, what? I don't get what these people are saying. Like, basically they had an issue. Like, they don't believe that little boys should be playing with kitchen sets because that's like a female thing. That's a woman thing to do. What? So they're basically saying like, not to perpetuate the stereotypes. Like, if you have a boy, he should just be playing with trucks and dinosaurs and monsters or whatever the fuck, and then girls should have like the kitchen sets and the Barbies and the doll houses. So what I wanted to ask is, well, you have a child, but when you have children, do you plan on raising your children with gender stereotypes? Like, if you have a son, is he going to be allowed to play with Barbie or not?
So I'm not gonna lie. My daughter during the pandemic, so I'm raising her with no gender stereotypes. At least I'm trying not to. But because I was raised that way, it automatically, the thought comes to my head. So during the pandemic, she's like, I don't want my room pink anymore. So I'm like, oh, okay. So let's look at, some shades, whatever, other different shades of colors that you might like. She's like, I want my room to be blue. Okay. And I was like, okay, okay. And then she's like, oh, mommy, I also want you to do me a favor. I want you to buy me a basketball court. I want to play basketball. And I'm like, okay, and it's like, I'm trying not to show that, because that's the way I was raised. Girls don't play basketball. Yeah. Girls' rooms are not blue, So I did kind of like thought about it, but I didn't. I said, okay, no problem. I'll buy you a basketball court. 3 months, she stopped playing basketball.
Oh, she was over it.
She was
just
over
wanted
it.
to try it.
Yeah. So, and the room looks beautiful, by the way. But yeah, I try not to, but I do think about it. It does come to my head. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I think about it. I don't have kids, but like, if I have kids, I be thinking like, I want to be open and progressive, but I think like what you said, because we were raised, like, girls don't do that. I was very much in that, like, household. I think it's kind of ingrained in me without me wanting to. So yes. I think I'm definitely going to have to check that. Yes. Because I don't want to be the parent. Like, the way I was raised was like, I was always afraid to like do certain things, right? Because it wasn't allowed, or I was going to be looked at a certain way. Like, even like with the way I dress. Yeah. Like, your parents, they kind of control whatever you do as a child. And I always said, like, I want my child to feel free in their thinking and the way they want to dress. Like, I even want my kids to dress themselves to go to school. The minute they like something, this is what you want to wear, fine. If they want to wear fucking tutu to school, fuck it. Like, I just want them to express themselves. So I'm going to try my best to not do it. But I know there's men in the room, and I feel like men view it differently.
But how sexy is a man that knows how to cook?
Right. What's wrong with that?
That was going to be my point.
That's amazing.
That was going to be my point, because in 25 years, that little boy in the kitchen, that's considered sexy.
I play with a kitchen set. But I don't know how to cook. I can't make you a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh my God.
And I played with a kitchen set.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. But this is my perspective on it. Like, I feel like, because I vividly remember, like, my mom had me in like a full pink suit. Okay. As a like I was clean, like for my kindergarten pictures. Like, I vividly remember that. So like, I feel like if I don't have any kids either, but like if I had kids, if my son is playing with pots and pans and shit, like, I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. Like, a lot of people don't pay attention to the fact that kids imitate us. He might just be imitating his mom. Yeah. How do we even know that his father's not around? Even if he is, he's probably at work. His father's not around to imitate what he's doing. Exactly. You're just seeing him imitating his mom in present time. Like, how do we know if that's even his kitchen set?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't just put so much energy into that because look, like even you said like your daughter, for instance, like she wanted to play basketball. 3 months later, she was done.
And also, my room was blue growing up. Me and my sister loved blue.
Okay.
So growing up, our room was all shades of blue.
Yeah.
And my apartment now, I have a blue wall. So it was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just a color. But I was gonna say, children. I believe that children don't even know. Children don't know a lot of things until we tell them. Like children. They say children don't see color. Like children don't learn racism until they have racist parents. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think children are even aware of gender roles until we say, no, this is for boys. This is for girls. Why are you playing with the Barbie? Put her down. Boys don't play with Barbie.
Mm-hmm. I think that's when it clicks in their head. Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, there's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you don't teach your child that, they're not really
But not all the time though, because I feel like some kids are like they can tell the difference. Like even if they're not told, I feel like it's kind of like I feel like there's some little girls out there like they can tell like, all right, dolls are for girls and cars are for boys.
They can tell on their own?
Yeah, because like if that's all they see.
Okay,
that's all they know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
right.
that's just
true.
human nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's any age. You know what I'm saying? You could be old.
But now, what if the child of like, what if that little girl, her parents were buying her the boy toys? Would she know? Like that's still
no. It wouldn't click in her mind. She would think that it's normal. Like she would
exactly.
Like if you was to tell her like, all right, like dolls are for girls, then she would be like, wait, what do you mean? Like, so why can't I play with cars or a basketball or you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I wear pants instead of like skirts all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It all depends on what that child is like around on, you know, there's environment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. What about you? When you have kids, like, what's your stance on this? Do you believe children should have gender roles? There's no right or wrong either. Like, however you choose to view it.
To an extent, you know, like I don't think there's anything wrong with him playing with the kitchen set. It doesn't have flowers on all of that stuff. It's not an easy bake oven.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's a kitchen set. Like, what if he grows up to be a chef?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And like you said, he probably was imitating his mom.
Exactly.
He could have been imitating his dad. His dad is probably a chef.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He'd probably watch the Food Network with Gordon Ramsay and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like. Cause
there's like shows with like baby chefs, isn't it?
There is.
Like
little kids.
Yeah,
little
kids.
kids.
Come on now.
Oh, that's mad cute.
So I don't feel like that's a gender specific.
Yeah,
that's an awesome skill to have.
You know?
Yeah,
a great skill to have.
And the fact that he's imitating that at that age, come on now, you got a bright future.
I have it, and it's a great skill to have.
Like it's so, and I feel like another reason why kids know like specific like why dolls are for girls and like cars are for boys is, you know, on commercials when they advertise the dolls, it's girls playing with the dolls and it's pink and everything, you know, and when they're advertising with the figures, with the action figures and stuff, it's boys in the commercials. So, but if my son wanted to play with dolls, I'm not gonna say I'll allow it. I'll let him know, like, you know, that's for girls.
Okay.
I'll let him know that. But, you know, and if I have a daughter and she wants to play basketball, there's the WNBA. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace.
Honestly, I would love it if I have an athletic daughter because I'm not athletic at all.
Yeah.
I never played sports. And I feel like it would be dope if she was.
Yeah, like that's.
Get her outside.
And then, you know, sports is the thing, like.
Yeah.
Like with both genders.
Yeah.
So it's not a gender
For sure.
specific.
And there are some amazing women athletes killing it right now.
And sports provides discipline.
Yeah. And she'll be healthy and shape.
And it shows like, you know, teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
So
how was
it only depends.
Did your families also like put gender roles in the household, like
with specific things, like like what I said, like
playing? Okay.
Stuff like that.
Was it like a big deal or something?
I mean, no, they probably to my knowledge, probably only didn't even have to tell me.
Yeah, you just
probably just.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't really have to be told too much either.
I don't remember being told that dolls are for girls.
Yeah, but I guess because we probably already, like, I was already just comfortable playing with Barbie. You were playing with your
And
boy
you don't have a
toys.
brother.
I don't have a brother.
Yeah, I don't
Do you
have
have
a
a
brother
sister?
either.
I'm only child, but see, I grew
See,
up.
I'm an only child too,
grew
so
up
I
with my
can't
cousins,
really.
though.
So it's like whatever was around you, fuck it, that's what you played
Because
with.
my older cousin, she is a girl, and then my cousin that's a year after me, he is a boy.
Yeah.
So she would have the dolls, I would have the action figures, and I would play with my action figures with her dolls. Like, cause you got all the girls, I got all the boys. So so.
Alright, question. So
Yeah.
if they got boys, are you gonna say boys don't cry?
No.
Nah.
I would never
I
say
don't know.
that.
That's toxic as hell.
Yeah. I would want my son to.
It depends.
You saying it?
It did not. Nah.
Why?
I
It
would want my
depends.
son to express his emotions.
Boys don't cry? In what world?
I wouldn't say boys
Wow.
don't.
I would want him to express his emotions.
Now,
I wouldn't want him
Yeah.
to bottle that up.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say boys don't cry, but I'm not gonna allow my son to cry, like be a little whiny and cry.
Nah, not
every
like
little
that.
day,
Babies.
It's levels. It's levels.
I mean-
like,
Yeah, like that. That's what I mean.
But if
If
there's
he
something
was-
that's bothering,
If he was like maybe 16, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
let's try to express it differently.
but see, that's different than boys don't cry. Like, boys don't cry saying like, yo, you don't. It's like you're not supposed to cry. Like, you're supposed to hold that in. Like, nah. Like, it's okay to cry. It's just like you can't just be.
crying over everything.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bitch out here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a clip from someone that I'm gonna play. So I asked her opinion. She has 2 children. She has 1 boy, 1 girl. So you guys can hear what she thinks about the topic.
I am not raising my children with a sense of gender roles. My son actually has a kitchen. He doesn't have a Barbie, but he does play with dolls, so I guess that counts. And my daughter plays with everything her brother has, so that means trucks and whatever gender assigned toys there are. I wouldn't say that traditionally we don't speak about it in our culture, but I do make it an emphasis, or I do emphasize things like, ¿cómo se dice? Espérate. Let me think about my words. Okay, it came to me. So I'm intentional about what I say to and also what I say to my daughter, even though she doesn't really understand much. But with, like, for example, I would never say, like, don't cry, big boys don't cry. Says things like that, but I check him, I correct him, I like model, that's the educator in me. It's okay to cry and to feel upset. How can we calm down? Basically, I try to be intentional about how I speak to my children. For example, if my son is crying about something, I don't say, don't cry, big boys don't cry, or stop crying, because I want him to know that it's okay to express himself in whichever way he wants. But I also want him to know how to learn how to manage his big emotions. So I would model for him. I would say, I know you're feeling upset. You don't have to cry. Or, why are you upset? Tell mommy. It's more like teaching them how to express themselves, right? So that's what I do.
Yeah, she's a counselor. So basically, she just, like, when he does cry, she just says, okay, how can we express this differently? Or how can we make this better? That's it. But it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's
it.
fine. My nephew cries a lot, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's a crybaby.
Like it's okay to cry. Just don't be crying over over
Every
anything.
little
Like
thing.
you losing a video game, you crying. Yo, what's up with you? You feel me? Like, nah, we not doing that, bro.
The thing
Get
in my
better and then
household
beat
is
'em.
always like man up. Like my grandma, my mother will say that to my nephew, like just man up. And I think that's a little toxic.
Yeah.
But I don't try to educate my mom is already old school, saying her ways. Like it is what it
You
is.
think it's toxic?
I think it's a man up. Like
I think in a way she's kind of trying to say
Yeah,
like
but-
be strong.
be strong, but that's the problem.
But
Sometimes
say
we always
that.
wanna be
Don't say
too
man
strong.
up.
Remember
Yeah.
they old school, so they don't.
Because
Man
every
up.
man, because every
Because
man
look-
is not strong.
Because I remember growing up, like being raised by our parents, we could go back and think of everything that they probably said that was a little too harsh.
Yeah.
And as we're older, we probably came up with ways that they could have said it better.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they're old school. So I don't want to say that we're smarter than them, but we more like
just-
sensible.
We're more, we censor
Or-
ourselves a little bit more. We're more aware of what we say.
It's either that you correct it or you actually adapt to it and then get used to that. And then that's your mindset.
And exactly. And then once that happens, it's like, that's why you have men who are afraid to show their emotions. They bottle things up because they want to man up. They don't want to
As
look
much
like
as
a
they
bitch.
want to try,
And they don't know how.
Automatically.
And I think we're coming because like we've dealt with men like that in our lives through dating men like that. So when you see that, it's like when you see how they were raised, or they tell you how they were raised, like I wasn't emotional. I wasn't taught to be emotional. I didn't know how to love or this. It's just like it shows.
And it's
it
hard
shows
to
in
watch.
how you treat me.
It's hard to watch because it's like you don't know a person's mental state, how much they've been holding in for so long. It's hard, and sometimes you're right. You can see it.
You can see it. You can see it just in how they treat you. It's like you don't get it. Doesn't click in them, and it's just frustrating.
I feel like sometimes a lot of men probably view showing emotions as a sign of weakness. So that's why a lot of us don't really
Show it.
that. So it might not be how we were raised in the household,
Okay.
but just from experiences outside.
Yeah,
And society.
that is very true.
Because
You've probably been hurt really badly, maybe by friends or girls.
or it could be
Or guys,
betrayal. You
whatever.
could have been betrayed or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
You build your own guard up.
so yeah. So it's like, I might want to show emotion, but you might take that as a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not going to show that. So you won't even have those type of thoughts in your head.
Right.
Do you feel like you live in your truth in that moment though? Because like, what if shit really does bother you with that person, but you're already in your head like, I'm just going to be strong. I'm not going to show that it bothers me. Don't you feel like that makes it worse in the long run?
Nah,
You end up bottling things up?
If it bothers me, I'm gonna let it be known.
Okay, so you don't let it fester.
Nah, I'm not holding
Alright.
my tongue for nobody. Like, nah.
After a while, it's like, I mean, you have to let it be known because it's gonna become like a conflict between you and this person. Like the slightest little thing that this person may say might just trigger you, and then like now y'all like enemies all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So it's just better to get it out. To be honest, I think the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this leads us into the next topic. Whew. Being useful in relationships, not useless. I kind of forgot where this came from, but I wrote down, as fucked up as it may sound, no one wants to be with you, have nothing to offer, which I think that's true, and I think we could all agree. You could stop me if you don't agree with that. Like, you want to be with someone who has something to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, boom. So finances aren't the most important, but it helps if you're not stressed over money, so we can enjoy things together without worrying about penny pinching. But aside from money, what else do you consider useful qualities in a partner?
Empathy.
Whoa, you said that mad quick. Why is that important for you?
Because somebody, your significant other might be going through something, and in a time like that, that's all they need. That's probably the best thing that you could give them.
Okay.
Like, instead of just like giving them the cold shoulder or just kind of like leaving them alone, letting with whatever they're going through. Like, you could at least be attentive, and if that's even, is that the word, attentive?
Attentive
Or
and
attentive?
supportive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow, that's a good one.
yeah, that's important.
Anybody else have other qualities that are useful? Because I got to think about mine.
That you're looking for?
Yeah.
Well,
Aside from like money, or aside from like,
somebody to bring to the table,
yeah, maybe something intangible.
loyalty and mental and moral support.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Confirmations.
Someone that's not gonna.
Confirmations too.
Confirmations.
Like, you tell them, you love them.
Okay. Like
Tell 'em
like the words of
affirmations. That's
There
what
we
I meant
go.
to say.
Yeah.
Tell them that, you tell them that you miss them. Tell them that, tell them that you've been thinking about them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you may not know that you need those things until like you get it, and then it's taken. Oh, whoa, pause. Let me sit up. Yeah, let me sit up. until you may not know you need that, and like you really like enjoy that until like you get it, and then like it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So like things like that, like you never know, like that person might be with you and like always got doubt in their head about how you may feel about them.
Yeah.
But you start telling them, you know, you love them, you miss them and stuff like that. Those doubts may kind of like disappear a little bit.
For me, the doubt comes like I need the words, but your actions have to match your words.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
could be telling me you miss me, but then you haven't seen me in 2 weeks. So how you really miss me? You know what I mean? Like you're not acting like it.
Right.
So for me, that for sure. But I also need like someone whose actions match their words and someone who's consistent. Be consistent. And even if your negative behavior is consistent, then good. Be consistent with that too, so I know whether or not I want to fuck with you still, or if I want to judge shit. But you gotta be consistent. What's wrong? Why did you make that face?
Because you said even if your negativity is consistent.
Like if you a shitty person, I'd rather you show me that you're shitty and keep showing, like show me enough so I know, all right, this is really you. I'm not fucking with you.
Okay.
That's
Don't be a
it.
roller coaster with it.
Yes,
Okay.
don't be a roller coaster. So if you a shitty person and you can't do this and this isn't for you and you can't be in a relationship, then you need to just tell me that straight up. But don't do the yo-yo thing where like you're consistently there for a week and then a week or two goes by
You're
and
gone.
it's like I can't even get a hold of you type
okay.
shit. So just be you. Show me you and be consistent with that. What happened?
Orbital ghosting.
Orbital ghosting, exactly.
Hey.
How about you, Cynthia?
Consistency and loyalty.
Yeah.
Same thing. And I feel like I learned that now. The actions have to match the words. I always,
Mike is hitting me
I
too in
never
the face.
paid attention to that before. I was just going off words. And I didn't
Words will
realize
fuck you
that.
up.
Yeah.
Because you'll really
It'll get you
believe it.
really deep
Yeah.
into something.
And if they really know how to speak
Yeah.
and they're like poetic with the shit they tell you, you fall for it every time.
The gift of gab.
Gift of
Yep.
gab. It's so true. Anything else to say about that one? Because we could go to the next one. Oh, okay. All right, so this leads into, so have you guys heard about the Tristan Thompson situation or no?
He got another girl pregnant allegedly.
Something like that. So I'm going to read a little bit about what happened. Hold on. Everything's saved. Okay, so yeah, he his third baby mother, he offered her to give $75,000 in hush money. So he basically said, you know how I feel. My feelings haven't changed at all. I won't be involved at all. By the way, if you think having the baby is going to make you some money, it's completely wrong. You are aware that I'm retiring after this season. So in terms of support, it will be whatever is required monthly for someone who's unemployed. It's Texas, so it will be only a couple $100. So you're better off taking the $75K I'm offering because you won't get nothing near that with having a kid with a father who's unemployed. All you will have is a baby with a father who has zero involvement with the child and a few $100s of child support a month. So he wants nothing to do with her. First of all, I don't even know. Like, he knew all the laws of Texas. Like, he really was not trying to be involved at all.
All the laws, quote, quote.
Yeah, it seemed like he did. But this is back to the point that, like, finances aren't enough.
You better know
And like
the
a lot
laws
of men
and
feel that because they
messed up
provide
with
for a
that.
child financially that it's enough. But it's like, I feel like if you were man enough to come in her, you should know what the consequences are. Like, there's a chance that she would have came out pregnant, and then what? Like, you weren't planning for this already? Like, what did you think was really gonna happen?
They
Like,
don't,
that's
they
just
don't want to get on
reckless.
birth control. They don't want to use condoms.
It's like,
They don't want to get a vasectomy.
so if you don't want to do none of that, then what's up? Like, you might as well be involved. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I support him too, you know, when it's needed, but
That's
I
the
feel
problem.
like-
When it's needed,
Yeah.
it was needed in that moment.
I feel like
It only takes one time to get pregnant.
that's all it takes. But
Literally.
I'm the type of person, like, if you lay that bed, if you made that bed, you gotta lay in it.
That's how I
Like,
feel.
if you came in that woman, or if y'all had sex and she became pregnant from that, then that's something that you got to deal with. If she wants to keep that kid, then
I was watching.
what you gonna do? Just not be in that child's life?
Yeah, basically. That's what he wants to do.
I don't know,
And
man.
I think that's just because I feel like essentially the person who's really suffering the most is gonna be the child.
Exactly.
And now the shit is online.
Yeah.
So it's like when they grow up, they're gonna be like, damn, like this is how my father spoke. Like he didn't want to be involved in my life at all. That does not feel good.
And you not being in that kid's life, that kid's gonna grow up with traumas that
OD.
they ain't even really want.
And it's like the whole world knows. So like, what if they go to school now and other kids are like, oh, haha, like this
See
is
what
what
I'm
your father said
saying?
about you. Like that's embarrassing.
You setting your kid up for failure real early.
But all right. So I was watching a podcast and they were talking about the situation and they said an unpopular opinion and I kind of got it. So I want to see your take on it. So the women were basically saying he's not completely wrong because if a woman decides to keep it, like she's still responsible for her decision.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So it's like they're not giving him a pass, but it's like if he doesn't want to be involved, that's his right too. Like why does he have to be involved just because a woman decides to keep it? And I got it. Do y'all
Yeah.
agree with that?
I agree with that.
I do.
I'm gonna be honest. In my situation, when I became pregnant, that was a question that I asked myself. If the other parent decided to be involved or not be involved, would I still be able to pull this off by myself? And when I answered yes, that's how I truly knew, like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna be a mom.
That's great because a lot of women don't do that. It's like contingent upon whether or not they're gonna have a partner there with them.
Yeah.
And if that partner can provide for them financially and be present. Because I guess some women just want the family too. Like they want the man and the baby. But I think it's not fair for you to put that on the guy, even though you both were irresponsible because you also allowed him to fuck you wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you also, like it takes two.
Yeah.
So it's like you also allowed it. So it's like if you're gonna now decide to keep it, that really has to be your decision, like you said. Like you thought to yourself, like, is this something that I'm gonna be able to do? And you answered it.
Yeah.
And you made the right decision for you. Essentially, we gotta make the right decision for us.
I can't bug somebody for help like that. Like I wouldn't be able to chase someone and beg
Yeah,
someone
me
like you
neither.
have to do this. You have to be in your child's life because you want to do it. Not because I keep harassing you and bugging you. That ain't it. That doesn't work for me.
I agree with the statement that she made because, especially in this certain situation, like he gave her, like an ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was choosing, she chose what she chose, and if that's what she wanted to choose, then that's what she would have had to live with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
especially the way he broke down the laws and stuff.
Yeah, he did his research.
Yeah, like
he was not playing.
Yep.
But she is a little messy because she got on and she started saying, how like Kylie fucked Drake and he hasn't told Travis. Like she just started doing mad extra shit online. So he was just trying to shut
I
her
ain't
up
name
too.
dropping.
It's all for the attention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
it
like
is.
he also got to be careful who he's fucking too. Like you
Exactly.
know how these girls are.
Yep.
So essentially if you get into some shit with this bitch, she's gonna air out whatever it is that she needs to air out to get your
That's
attention
why-
or your money or whatever.
Here's the thing though, they be a lot of like people like that. I don't really want to just say celebrities, entertainers, or people with money in general.
Yeah.
They have money, so they feel like they have hush money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they feel like
Yeah.
I have money, so all right. If you don't come from money, so if we get into this situation, I could just pay you to shut the fuck up and go
Yeah.
sit in the corner.
And that's why we always say too, like money can make people feel invincible.
But that also happens with people that don't have money. Yeah.
Yeah, well it does.
It does.
They just won't be present though.
Yeah.
They'll just fucking ignore you and act like they
I just said with money because he offered her the $75,000.
Yeah.
So but that still does happen with people that don't have.
Of
money.
course.
They're just not gonna offer. They don't have shit to offer you.
They don't got shit to offer. Yeah.
And it's not public.
Yeah, and it's not public.
Because I know a few
Of course.
people that have been in situations like that where, they come up pregnant, they have a baby, and then they're chasing the guy down. And it's like, you kind of knew where you guys stand at that time when that happened. So it's like, what did you expect?
Right.
And if that person also has multiple children that they were already not taking care of,
Yep. What makes you think that you were
what
gonna
makes
be
you
different?
think your child is special?
Exactly.
Out of like the other 4 or 5,
It's true. Yeah.
Circling this back to the baby and then he lay again.
I mean, yeah, but it's like that happens with women all the time. It's like, no, I'm gonna be different.
Yeah,
like he's gonna
they
be
really
different
believe that.
for me
Yeah,
because I'm so special.
I'm gonna change him.
I'm gonna be the one. Yeah, fuck out of here, you dumb. Fuck your life.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
You're gonna change a grown ass man.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
just
change
it's
him.
just retarded. Okay, so you mentioned this topic. This kind of is related, and I wanted you to elaborate a little bit more. So you spoke about how men get dragged on Father's Day, and mothers always get praised on Mother's Day. Like there aren't shitty moms in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you want to elaborate on that a little
I
bit
do.
more?
So Father's Day always comes and you see the post on social media, on Instagram. Men getting dragged all the time.
Getting dragged?
Dragged.
Really?
Yeah, I see it too. It's single mothers dragging.
Single mothers. The
Dragging
single moms.
fathers?
Because they be
Yeah.
like, it's my, like, this is my day because I was the one who was present and blah, blah, blah. Like, you weren't there.
Yeah, I seen that. I see that
Wow.
a lot.
And
But
it
you
takes
don't
away, and it takes away from their day. Because there are a lot of good dads also out there.
Yeah.
So when you get, let's say you're a wonderful dad and you get on your Instagram and you start scrolling through your timeline and you run into posts like that. Like, that would make me feel some type of way. Like, let me just enjoy my day. Like, for
Yeah.
Mother's Day, you don't see that kind
You
of
don't
stuff.
see that. Like,
you
men
don't see
don't
that
post
at
shit
all.
like that.
Zero.
But you know what I think it is? Because now I'm just thinking about it. What if it's because, like, for the most part,
We're supposed to
for
respect
the most part,
y'all.
men don't, if
Don't have
a
the
man
custody?
isn't, exactly, yes. If a man isn't with the woman, they're not together anymore, the woman usually has the custody. The man, it's rare when you see the man have full custody over his kids. So that could be one thing.
But there's also shared custody.
There is
And
shared
then it's
custody.
also what,
But you have like these bitter bitches too who be like, they just wanted the man and the man didn't want them. Mm-hmm. And the man is probably a great father, but she still wants to talk shit on social media. Like, she's the man, like she's the woman or the mother of the year, no matter what, Mother's Day or Father's Day, because she's with her child all the time. But he's probably just as present, just as involved.
I do feel that a lot of women, we tend to confuse the fact that our relationship didn't work out with the child. And, it didn't work out between us. I'm going to take you to child support now.
Yeah.
It's like one thing doesn't have to do with the next. I pick up my son or my daughter every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And when my child needs things, I'm there. I'm there for the most part.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of women tend to do that. Like, use the child, like,
A pawn.
as a pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that a lot on social media or no?
I do.
And how do you, like, what's your reaction to it? Do you care?
I kind of just
Ignore it?
I ignore it.
Yeah.
Because what I usually see is, like you said, the woman will post themselves up, or a friend will post them up and be like, "Oh, happy Father's Day to you too." And
Yeah.
This your day, and that. Like you said.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't give it no attention.
And to go back to what you were saying, like, I don't think it's like you said you wouldn't see a man like even if you said most of the time the woman would have the custody.
Yeah.
Like even if the man had the custody, I don't even think you would see that man like
Bragging about it?
yeah, like I don't even think that's like
I don't see that often.
Down in the other
I
parent.
don't.
yeah, like I don't know.
I don't. I wonder why that is though. Because they deserve their flowers just as much as the mothers do, honestly. If you a single father, for me, that's a big deal because I know like women usually
Or
are the
even
ones
if
that
you're
are the
present.
most
Even if you're
nurturing.
present, I
Even
feel
if
like
you're
Even if
present,
you're
you get
present.
credit. You should get credit too,
Yeah, of course.
because that counts.
You see it. The Father's Day commercials. What men get? Sales at Home Depot.
Yeah,
It's true.
you get a tie,
Y'all
you
get
get
all
some
the-
socks.
Or like the grills be on sale.
Y'all
Get
get
some
all
socks.
the jewelry,
It's
clothes,
true.
that's true.
shoes,
That's
everything.
very
That's
true.
the number one day at restaurants is Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, word.
Father's Day, they gotta cook their own meal. They gotta hit the grill.
Yeah, it's like
Cook
a
their own
Father's
food.
Day barbecue or something, and they're on the grill.
They got discounts on grills.
Yeah,
On like it's,
that is so true.
Grills and toolboxes.
Or you see, like, let's say for an example, like, me and my mom, we didn't have a good relationship or something. Obviously, hypothetically speaking, or whatever. She's a drug addict. They're like, oh, your mom was a drug addict. But if you say, oh, my dad was a drug addict, oh, he's a shitty
He's a
dad.
piece of shit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a piece of shit. And it's
That's
like,
true.
nobody ever, like, that's like walking on eggshells to tell somebody you're a bad mom.
Yeah.
And I feel like with men we do that so easy, but for women it's like, oh no, you can't say that. You're not allowed to say that. You know.
Yeah, that's true. Men really do get the shitty under the stick sometimes.
But that goes to that I don't know if you've seen that clip with Chris Rock, but he was like that men are not loved unconditionally. They're only loved on like
If they could provide.
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw that.
that's true.
It's true though.
It's true.
It's true.
If you can't provide.
They love dogs, the kids.
And that goes to what you said in the
Men's all the
beginning.
way at the bottom
What?
of the totem pole.
That was the starting question, right?
About finances?
If we don't want anybody if they can't like provide.
You can't, yeah, if they can't provide, if they're not bringing anything to the table. But it's like, it got to be aside from finances. Because honestly, if I was in that situation and it didn't work out with me and the father of my child, I would just fuck finances at some point. Like, I know everything is expensive, but I just want you to be there for our child. Like, be present in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be an active father. I don't ever want my child to feel like, damn, like, daddy doesn't love me. He doesn't come visit. He doesn't spend time with me. Like, to me, that matters more than if you send me a couple $100. Like, fuck that. Because if I, like you said, if I decide to keep a child, it's going to be because I know with or without my partner, I'll be able to at least provide and I'll be okay. So fuck that. I'm going to be present and provide. I just need you to be there.
The problem with that is that you don't know. Let's say, for an example, both of you do not have children, and this is your first child that you guys are gonna bring to the world. You don't know if that person's gonna be a good parent or not.
You don't.
That person could
It's a
treat
risk.
you. Yeah, it is a risk.
It's a risk.
It's definitely a risk.
Yeah.
Because he could be treating you amazing and not be the best dad, or vice versa. Maybe it's not working out between you guys or whatever, you know. And he's a wonderful dad,
Yeah.
but it's a gamble.
Yeah. Anybody have like a wrap up for that? Good. Last minute thoughts.
What if he's both?
What if he's both? What, financially
Like
there
a
and
great
present?
dad and like he treats you well, but it's just the
a win-win
relationship.
situation
That's
right
awesome.
there.
The relationship just didn't.
Oh, like we're better off as friends?
Yeah.
Maybe? Then that's fine.
That's cool.
I'm fine with that because what's the
That's
point
excellent
of?
co-parenting.
Yeah, that's an ideal situation.
Got some moms that's bitter because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Or she'll be like, "Oh no, I don't want you. I don't want my kids around your new girlfriend and all this
Yeah.
other stuff." That's horrible.
It's retarded. It's just a lot of drama. All right, so we're gonna get into why is it that we fight to keep or work at a relationship when it's failing or in turmoil, but we don't have the same energy when it comes to fixing our friendships. We're quick to let friendships go, but we'll stay in relationships that aren't working for us.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I could agree with that.
I don't think you could, because yeah.
My friends are like, that's my family right there. So I'll more so fight to keep my friendship, probably maybe more than my relation, or even equally, you know. 'Cause especially, it depends if I really value the relationship. If I don't value it, then what am I fighting for? But my friends, the people who I consider my friends, that's my family. So I'll go all out for them.
I think that a lot of men would see it that way.
No,
Not necessarily.
I don't really. Well,
No.
okay, maybe the men I'm cool with.
cause like it's rare when I come across people that's been around the same people since they were like kids.
Okay.
Like the majority of my friends I've known since I was at least like from like 12 or 16, 15 till now. And we've been like close friends all of these years. So, and it's not like that with a lot of people. That's why you see a lot of people with different friends so often. It's rare you see people and you like, yo, every time I see them, they with the same. He with the same people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See,
My fault to cut you.
No,
I
go.
don't feel like everybody values friendship like once before. Like it's everybody's trying to use.
I was
the
just
next
gonna say
person.
that. I was just gonna say that. Go ahead.
Nah, but yeah, like I feel like everybody they don't value friendship like that.
Say what you were gonna say.
I was gonna say like people don't value friendships and like that friend word get thrown out so easily. So I feel like I get that. I agree with the quote like because like a friend would turn on you real quick. Like somebody that you would think that, you know what I'm saying, like is loyal to you. Like you may think like, all right, since I known this guy or this girl since I was like 12, you thinking that they would be there for you when and in a time where shit get a little tight, they fold on you. You know what I'm saying? Like you had those expectations in your head because being that we known each other our whole lives, you thinking that they're gonna be loyal, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with it. But I see it from your perspective too, like because your friends is your friends, like your friends was there before you met your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever.
Dynamic.
Like
Not a lot of people have that.
Like
with
our
their
parents
friends.
know each other. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I was going to say, I definitely agree with the quote because in my experience, like Denzel said, sometimes you thought your friends were going to be there for you and they weren't. Or you were always overextending yourself. Like for me, I have wrote down from my own personal notes that like I match energy. So like if I feel like in this friendship, I'm not being reciprocated in the way that I'm there for you and showing up for you, it's like, I'm not fighting for this. And in my experience, like I've always, and maybe this is a bad thing, but like my partner is my best friend. Not everybody gets in relationships with that mentality. It's like, yeah, you're my partner, you're here for me, but you're not my best friend. Like I'm gonna go to my best friend for certain shit. For me, I feel like if I decide to choose you and be with you, like I said, I don't just date to date. So like I'm dating to eventually have a life with you. Whether we get married or not, you're my partner. So it's like I'm putting all my focus on you. And if we do have a fight or argument, I'm fighting for you because I'm choosing to do life with you. With my friends, I'm not trying to build a life with them. I'm not trying to have like a house with them or build a family with them.
It's already
like
built.
If I feel like if I'm with my partner and we're trying to build something and start a life, that's worth fighting for if we're both on the same page. And even if we're having an argument, like we're going to handle that in-house and we're going to get everything back to the way it should be. Sometimes your friends, they're not on that type of time with you. And as much as you fight for the friendship, they're not fighting for it as hard. That's been my experience. So it's like I've just learned to let friendships be something casual that I have. And like, yeah, we hit each other up, we chill, we cool and everything. But I'm not going to be going hard for you if you don't really want to show up and be there for me.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's different types of friendships. I mean, you have your best friend, you have the girls you go, to go hang out with, to the bar, whatever the case might be. But not all friendships are forever,
Yeah.
No.
Some people are just here for a chapter of your lives. You have a good time, you close that chapter and you go on to the next. But I just feel like let's say we're friends for 20 something years. And we have a disagreement, a dispute, whatever the case might be. There are times where that one dispute, you'll stop talking to that person. You won't even reach out. Your pride won't let you reach out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when you're in a relationship, the person could cheat on you.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like going hard. You're like crying, calling, blowing up this person's phone. How you want to, to me, cheating is like huge in a relationship or marriage. I mean, that's like the top if you want to put it there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women or men that forgive that. So why is it that when you're in a friendship, we had a disagreement? I'm not saying something huge. Let's say something where we just stop talking, something small. It could be the smallest thing. You won't reach out to that person.
I'm going
And
to
it's
do
like
that
your
right
pride
now.
won't let you. And it's like, but your man just cheated on you and you just went
You
so
just
hard
went
on
mad
that.
hard for him, and you're not having the same energy. But that's
But
why
see-
I don't even bother with the friends.
But wait, I have a wrench to throw now.
Oh, good. Yes.
You're not tapping into those feelings and emotions as you would to that partner that cheated on you. It hit different when that person cheated on you because you didn't gave them a certain type of vulnerability that you never gave your friends. You don't need to give that to your friends because
That's not necessarily true. I feel like I'm vulnerable with my friend.
Okay,
With
but
my
are
best
you?
friend. She knows everything about me. That's vulnerable right there.
Have you ever given her your body?
No, but there are different relationships. I've never given my body to my parents. You know what I'm saying? To my siblings.
Your parents
Yeah.
are gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
A man will do that to you.
That's
you've
not.
given
You
yourself.
see right there. That's not true. Your parents could do that to you.
They could. Anybody could do anything.
Anybody
to
could
Yeah.
disrespect you. But you could lose somebody's trust. You could lose. Come on.
Yeah.
With every relationship or friendship.
Yeah, I think it's just the way what you value, right? What you prioritize. So if you already go into a friendship as a type of person like me, where it's like, yeah, you're my friend, but I don't put nothing past you. Like, I feel like if you do me dirty, like it's happened to me before, it could happen again. I don't look at my relationships like that. I'm also very careful about who I get into a relationship with. So I feel like I hold my partner to certain standards than my friends. But that's
Yeah.
me. Whereas
Same.
like a person like Kadeem might hold his friends to a certain standard and look at relationships like just something that comes and goes. If she does me dirty, fucking, I'm just not gonna fuck with her no more, whatever.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't
so
see it
I
that
think
way.
it's like how you approach it,
Yeah.
how you
Yeah.
look at it.
You see me, I hold both of them to a certain standard.
Okay, so there you go.
My if we close like that, if you're my best friend, we that close, yes, I hold you to a certain standard of loyalty and respect and all that stuff.
Yeah. Which I think is good too, because anybody who's in your space, you should hold them to a certain standard, or
Yeah.
else like, you know, you always on edge, looking over your shoulder to see like,
Especially if they're important to you.
yeah.
And then, it's like with your friends, they've already been there. So
Yeah.
they've already built and gained that trust.
Right.
With you already.
Yeah.
There's nothing that
With
you
the
got to
person-
build with them.
With the person you're in a relationship with, they're developing that trust. But even though it's a whole separate relationship. Like you guys say, it's a whole
Yeah.
different type of vulnerability that you're giving to them.
Yeah.
You're developing that trust with them. So now, if they do anything to go off course of that development before you can get there, it's like,
But with the friendship, that was already developed.
that was already
Yeah.
developed.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with my thing is like
The trust is already there.
the trust is already there, but what if we have a disagreement? Like nobody I've seen instances where neither or reach out.
Yeah.
And that friendship will fall out. And that's the part that it's like
Yeah.
I know.
It makes you
I
question,
get what
like,
you're saying,
did we
though.
have anything real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, was our friendship even real? Like, did they even care? Like, you think about it no matter what, whether it's your partner or your friend.
Yeah, because if
you
I
have to think
valued
about
it, we could have, agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's pride though.
it is
It
pride.
It's
for sure.
all
But I feel
pride.
like we tend to do that more with our friends than we do with our partner. We lose all of our pride with our partner.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
You
Because
throw that right out the window.
'Cause you feel
he
like-
cheated
'cause
on
I
you. Now everybody knows you got cheated on.
'Cause I feel
and
like-
you're vulnerable
I don't know.
with that.
I feel like-
yet you still forgive.
I feel like you got more to lose with the relationship though.
So I
Yeah.
don't know,
Together
either side though, because either way with either relationship, it's time that's being put in, time that you can't get back.
Can't go
Friendship
back.
and relationships.
Yeah, but that's
What if-
either with both of them.
Yeah.
What if
So-
you live with this person?
Or that you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
then
of
then
course.
you've already developed that trust with them. Then.
Yeah.
And that's different.
Or like, what if you have a super successful business with the friend? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It depends how
Yeah.
much you have invested really into
Yeah.
either or.
Yeah.
Because again, like if my friend is not bringing anything really of value, then losing them might not even hurt me in the long run. Like I'm not really feeling that.
Yeah.
That
And
loss.
that person I wouldn't really consider a friend. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an associate.
There we go.
Because with me, I don't throw the word friend around loosely.
Yeah.
Just because I know you and we hung out a couple of times.
That don't mean you're a
we're
friend.
You could still try to set me up later on down the line. Like I don't know you from a can of paint.
Yeah.
You just been out on the cake.
You're just a familiar face.
So exactly. So it's like I don't throw that word around loosely. So
For me, you're my friend if you've seen all sides of me. Like if you
Yeah.
just see me happy all the time, you don't really know me because you haven't seen me when I'm pissed, when I could go off on you, when I'm crying, when I'm sad, when I'm scared. So it's like you're not really my friend. I feel like with my partner sees all those sides, so I'm even more attached. Because your partner really is gonna see the ugly, the good, the bad. They're gonna see all sides of you. So it's like if somebody could tolerate all sides of me, I'm gonna be like, all right, you saw everything and you still here. All right, I'll fuck with you. Like I'm gonna fight for this because I know you really.
And I feel
you're
like you
about
don't
this.
have that with your friends.
Not all friends. Not all my friends have seen all sides of me. They've
Yeah.
seen certain things here
Yeah.
and there.
because
Can friends turn associates?
For sure. I've had that happen a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing that.
Really talk
Yeah.
about it.
I just feel like if we got to the point where we got that close, and then for you now to just become an associate, it's like, nah, I can't.
So you would fight for it? You would try to get it back to the front, or would you cut them off
I
completely?
cut them
then?
off.
Okay.
Cut them off because it depends what happened between
Yeah,
us that I can't just
course.
keep having you around.
Mm.
sometimes
Like there's some doors you just need to shut.
Yeah.
sometimes it probably might not be nothing negative. You could have probably the both of you could have just grown apart.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
I've had friendships like that where
that happens.
we were cool, let's say during my teenage years, and now as adults we
Yeah.
barely have spoken. You know.
Yeah.
Probably go to different schools or somebody
Yeah.
moved and the communication like fell off.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah.
Life
But if, like,
happens.
if you close.
Now, if you did something,
Yeah,
then
and
that's
now
different.
it's
That's
it's
different.
different,
Yeah, I can't. Then I can't trust you. You betrayed me.
Yes,
you
and
know?
then the vibe is always off. The energy's off when you're around.
It's not even worth you being around.
No,
Because
no.
that's what it is. I guess with either the relationships, I'll fight for it as long as it wasn't betrayal that caused
Yeah.
us to be at odds.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and you betrayed me and that's why we're at odds, then that's over.
You're on
You're
thin
my
ice.
friend, somebody who've been through like the mud with me, and you betrayed me. I can't fuck with you again because it's like, yo, like you can always piece the mirror back together, but the cracks is still there. So
That's true. Damn. That was really good.
That was a bar.
That was, right?
That was a bar.
Get the gunshots.
Don
Got
DeMarco,
all the way last. Yeah.
Don DeMarco.
Gotta do the gunshots. All right, so the next question was, what's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
Everything y'all just said. I'm joking.
You know what's the worst advice I've ever gotten? Me finding out I'm getting cheated on, and somebody telling me, be a good girl, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Just do what you gotta do. And it's like, what? You telling me to be quiet?
Was this an older person?
Yes.
Okay.
They're
That makes sense.
And it was, you know,
'Cause they used
older
to
women, they're
tolerate,
like,
yeah.
oh no, you need to tolerate that. You gotta be a good girl. You gotta be a role model. Stay quiet. Do what you gotta do. You gotta cook more. You gotta clean more. You
have
gotta
sex
do
with him
more. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what? That's terrible advice.
Yeah, that's the word. Damn, that's really bad advice.
That's really bad.
The worst advice I got was to not go back to school and to just stay a Costco manager, to become a Costco manager. Like, fuck school. School's going to be too hard for you because you're a woman and you're a minority. I was told that. From a white guy, a white man, of course.
no.
He was like, you know, you're a woman, you're a minority. Like, why don't you just stay here and be a manager? Like, fuck school. Like, you're not going to be able to do it anyway. And I just looked at him like, what? I just laughed. Like, I didn't know what to do. I just laughed. So joke's on him. Because I finished going to have a career, so fuck you. So yeah, that was the worst advice I got. Anybody? I could play something and then it could jog, like, whatever.
The worst advice I ever got was, I was told, I won't say who told me this, but I was told to stop doing music. I'm wasting my time. This is probably like 2013.
Damn.
That person is OD fucking with my music right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You have one?
No, I never really got bad advice from anybody.
All right, I'm going to play PJ. He was a guest on the episode. He told me his bad advice, the worst advice he got.
I feel like when you're told to look for the good in someone, it's probably one of the worst pieces of advice you can get, because when you only look for the good in people, you start to overlook all the bad tendencies, all the things that they could do, because you're only looking at one perspective and one side of them as a person, and everyone is mad complex. So if that's the case and you only seeing the good, when do you balance the yin and the yang? And when do, every time they don't live up to that good, they're going to disappoint you? And if you keep just looking for good, you're going to be constantly disappointed. So you need to start seeing people for what they are and their actions for what they are, because when they made the action, they didn't think about how it would affect you. And if they did, they didn't give a fuck. So fuck the good in people and just do what you feel is good for you.
Bars.
I agree with that. Did you have a point? Did you want to add anything to that? Because the real question was like, why do people feel like they're entitled to give you advice on things when they themselves are not going through what you're going through? Like, you're probably going through something very specific, and they're kind of like trying to tell you what to do. Like, let's say they're telling you like, why are you renting? Like, you should be owning your own property. You should have a house by now. You should be investing in this. Meanwhile, they're not even on that level. They're not investing. They don't even have their own shit. So what makes them qualified to give you that advice?
Everybody wants to feel like they know more than you.
Like they're the expert in something.
Yes.
You know, especially everybody feels like they're a guru, like they're, like you said, like they're an expert.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I've had people tell me to not do things that I've done that benefited me a lot, and it's like, you know, you kind of like. I also look at it like, if you're not practicing what you're preaching,
Right.
don't preach that message to me.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
everybody wants to be a know-it-all. That's what it is, and it's a form. I think it's also a form of control too. And that what it is, they're pushing their fears off on you.
I was just gonna say that it's all their own insecurities.
Yeah.
And so they wanna like if you wanna do something and they know that you'll be good at it. Like people know. Like they know you'll be successful. And it's like you mirror what they could have done, but they never did because of their own fear or their own insecurities.
And they don't want to see you do it.
Yeah, they don't want to see you do it. They just fucking hating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I don't take it too personal. I take everything with a grain of salt. Cause like, you never know. Like in time, that person could have been warning you. Like, they may see something in you, and the direction that you want to go in is probably not the best. And they might have went through it before and probably seen somebody else go through it before, go down that road. And they see you going down that road, especially being that you're so young and impressionable and stuff.
Yeah.
And they, you know, they may try to like protect you in a sense, but only in time you would see that, you know what I'm saying, like that person was right. But it's up to you to whether you want to take the advice or not. That's why I don't take it personal. I just, you know, I take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Because you may hear it again. If it's meant to be, you'll you'll get the message again from somebody else if you're really paying attention.
Yeah.
But I guess in time you'll see like if you know it's meant to be. I don't know. I don't take it too personal though.
Nice.
But I do agree, like people do be trying to project their fears on your dream. That's why I don't tell people what I'm about to do. Cause like you might
good one.
That's a good one.
you gotta like protect your dreams sometimes.
Yes.
Like you don't want anybody's energy or their fears to like deter it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta kinda like you don't speak on your stuff until you actually stepping in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you step, then speak. Or act, then speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you act, you won't even have to speak because people gonna see.
They're gonna see it.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you have?
Yeah. Like, for example, I know people that have been very lucky. They've met their partner, like, early on in life and have been married for years. And I've had people that are married that want to give me dating advice. Like, you can't give me dating advice. You've never dated.
Yeah.
You've never been in a position like that to tell me, oh, no, this is what you should do. This is what you should say. Yes, obviously your situation is a success, but you've never been in a situation where you've been hurt or you're looking for that person and you keep trying and there's no luck in it. And they're like, well, maybe you're just not doing this. And it's like, but I am. It's just you've never experienced this before. So you can't school me on dating if you've never
been
done it
single.
before.
Right.
You've
never been single.
You've been together with someone your whole entire.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's different than trying to like tell someone who's been single, who's been in a couple of failed situations. Like it's different. Your mindset is totally different. Opposed to you being with someone like for a long period of time. Like your mind is complacent on certain things. Like you're not thinking like, well, damn, like does this person trust me? No, because you already been with someone that you already built trust with for a long certain, you know, a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's different. That's why, like I said, like you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Everybody's experiences is different.
Yeah, I always say like whenever anybody gives you advice, consider the source. Like where is the advice coming from? Because if it's not coming from someone that I want to be or I aspire to be or I don't really look up to them in any way financially or spiritually, then it's like I'm going to listen to you, but I'm not really going to let that shit affect me because you're not even where I want to be in life.
Yeah.
You're not even doing anything that I want to do. So why am I listening to your advice? Like, kiss my ass.
true.
Fuck you and your advice. Like,
That's advice.
the fuck?
Fuck what everyone tells you.
Fuck your life.
Everyone's
Fuck
just,
your life.
everyone is just mad nosy. They just want to be in your business anyway. So fuck what everyone says. Do what you're gonna do anyway. You're gonna make your own mistakes.
And
Fuck
yeah,
everyone. That's
life will teach
great
you.
advice when I tell you not to listen anyway.
'Cause just because it didn't work for you, that doesn't mean it's not gonna work
Exactly.
for me.
Right.
Yep.
And just to go back on that, the advice that I was given, the only reason why he said that is because he said his wife couldn't do it. So he felt like if his wife couldn't do it, then no one could do it. So it was just
that
like,
doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
If you're speaking from a place of experience, then get it. But if you're not, then
But have you ever like given advice or gotten advice and they be like at the end, but do what you want, like don't listen to me, or what do I know? Like you try to clean it up a little bit. Like sometimes you give advice, but you probably know the person's gonna do what they want to do anyway.
Yeah.
So you just be like, all right, this is like.
But then, like, I used to do that, but like, don't give the advice if you're gonna say that at the end.
Yeah.
If you know they're gonna do what they want, just save your breath.
Or save your
Basically,
breath.
you're confirming you're giving unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what you're
Yeah.
confirming when you say that. It's like, I'm
That's
just gonna
so
throw
true.
this.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm just gonna throw this idea out there, but you
Yeah.
can do whatever you want with that.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Anything?
That's why I always be like, yo, man, fuck that shit. Just fucking do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want. Fuck it. All right, so we have just 2 more topics, very light. So the Make It Make Sense segment for this week is, why do we tend to link our purpose in life with a job or career? And based on your career, that's the level of respect you're given by a complete stranger. So have you ever told somebody what you do for a living and you felt like they were treating you differently once they heard? Maybe they gave you more respect, or you felt like their energy shifted a little bit?
not that I can recall.
No?
I'm not gonna lie.
It happened to me.
When I was working, I felt like the level of respect that I got during that time versus now, it's very different. And I used to do that, and I noticed it now that I'm not working. While I was doing that. Like for an example, let's say you'll tell me you're a stay-at-home mom, and it's like, oh, that's what you do? You just stay home? And now that I'm on the opposite end, it's like, wait a minute. That's a whole lot of respect to
It
put into a
is.
person to be a stay-at-home mom.
It is. Being
You
a
know?
stay-at-home mom is not easy.
But you can see it though, off a person. Like you can read their body language when you say, "Oh no, I don't work," and they're like,
yeah,
"What do you mean? What do you mean?"
Yeah.
So
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for me, I've suffered from that. Like I was linking my my value into my career.
yeah,
And so whenever I was treated differently, it wasn't so much I would get mad at the other person, but now is when I realized I was really mad with myself.
yes, that's an internal thing.
That was an internal thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm gonna give an example. One time I was out with my sister and she had her friends with her, guys and girls, and then we all came back to the apartment. We were chilling, and my sister's a nurse. At the time, I was working in Costco. I still wasn't in grad school. I wasn't even thinking about grad school. I was just chilling, and so there were these 2 guys. One guy was like, "Oh, so you're a nurse too?" Because all her friends were nurses, and I was like, "No." The other guy was like, "No, she just works at Costco." Like he brushed it off, and I was like, "First of all, you don't even know me like that." But it's like the way he said it, that shit pissed me off.
Yeah.
But I realized it was because of me. Like I knew that I didn't want to be there. I knew that I was unhappy.
That was a
working
trigger.
there. It was a trigger for me, and that shit motivated me even more. Like, let me go back to grad school. Let me get my career popping, because I was insecure about it. But like, I have friends who have the same position that I had when I was working there. And when people ask them, what do you do? They say it with pride.
Absolutely.
I work here. And I love my, like, they're
Because
happy
they're
to say it.
content.
They're content.
Yes.
And so I saw that, and I was like, oh, like, she's actually proud of her position and where she is in life. I wasn't, and that's why it bothered me.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it, it's internal.
Yeah, that whole purpose, I have one foot in and out with that. And the reason being is, let's say for an example, like in your situation, you said, I didn't want to be a Costco supervisor, whatever the case might be. I wanted to do more.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because you within yourself, you came up with that. But what about Sally that's working at the supermarket and she's content? She doesn't have a purpose?
That's true.
Because she's at the supermarket?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe her purpose is not career related.
Yeah.
Maybe her
Oh
purpose
my
is something
God.
else.
You spitting facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Spitting facts.
And sometimes what happens with that term is you go out on this quest looking for something within you, and it's like, I don't feel good. I don't want to be a Costco supervisor. I want to do more. And now you're with that struggle that you need to find a purpose.
Yeah.
Like you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And you want to do more. And then what you'll do is, let's say sometimes you'll be like, okay, let me think of something that I do like to do. And then you'll say, I don't know, a hobby. Let's say it's photography, right? And now you'll do photography and you're doing this as a full-time job. And you're like, no, wait, I just wanted this as a hobby. I don't feel happy.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it when I wanted to do it on Saturdays in the morning, not for a living. So it's like you go out on this quest, and that just brings more anxiety, and that brings depression. Like, what if you don't need to look for this purpose? Just if you're content, you're content.
I'm starting to think a purpose is not it's not linked to our career. I'm starting to think it's something.
It's a magic that we don't know.
Yes.
We don't know.
My mother always says her purpose is to serve people. So my mother, she works in a hospital, and she's what do you call them? Medical assistant?
Yes.
I think yes. And so she deals with a lot. Like, she has to clean people dirty. She sees a lot of like nasty things, but she's like, this is my purpose. Because not only is my mother like doing the work, but like she preaches to people. Like, she talks about God, and like she prays with the patients, and she cries with them, and she gets really invested. But she's like, I feel like I'm here to give people hope, to give them the word of God, because she's very religious, and to serve. So my mother will stay up until 2 a.m, making a big meal for everybody, having the family over, and serving everybody, not relaxing. Like, she's just that type of person. And I feel like that's all of our purposes in some way, is to either like help people, serve people, or inspire people, whatever. Like, I feel like it's that, not always something monetary, not always a career.
But I also feel like there are careers that you can link to that very easily.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, anything in the medical field.
If you're a doctor, if you're a police officer, if you're a paramedic, it's so easy to say that. But like, back to what I was saying, what about Sally at the supermarket?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Her
saying?
purpose maybe, I don't know.
You see? And then that's
maybe she like jokes around with all the customers and makes them laugh. Like, her purpose is just
but
to
then
make
I feel
people
like
laugh.
that term causes that separation as to which career is better than the other.
And then if you add people's judgment on it, they're like, their looks, their stares, it's like, oh shit, like I'm not doing enough. Like, I have this job and I'm getting this look. So if I would have said doctor, I would have been treated differently.
Yes.
Oh, so maybe I should just be a doctor so I could have purpose.
Yes.
I could have meaning in this world.
And then you go on that quest, and you'll be there for years looking for that.
Yeah.
I feel like your purpose is personal. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with anybody or what they think. You know what I'm saying? Like, or what society thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, a doctor could be out there, you know, that could have been their dream to be a doctor, but when they became one, they probably don't feel like that's their purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like Sally at the supermarket, her purpose,
right?
Her
Sally
purpose might be, she might be pulling in her half of the earnings for the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, she may have kids at home, and you know, like, her eldest is probably taking care of the kids at home while she's at work, and dad is out doing his part, but she's just a part of a team, like a union. Like, that might be her purpose. So like I said, like, it's all personal, like, and you got to find that, like, that's in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, you might have like a certain skill or a talent, like that might be your purpose, something that you just, it's just effortless to you. Like, there's no real dedication or anything that you got to put to it. It's just natural to you. Like, that might be your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You just got to find it. It's in you.
Yeah, I also don't feel like everybody has the luxury to be chasing purposes either. Like, some people, like you said, she's pulling in her half of the bills. Yeah. Like, she don't really got, it's like, this is my job.
Her purpose is priorities.
Yeah. That's my purpose.
Getting the priorities
raising
done.
my family is my purpose right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And like, fuck, we always say fuck what other people think. It's
until your life changes, then your purpose is greater once your life changes. Because your purpose is not going to be the same if you living in poverty opposed to you living like above poverty. You get what I'm saying? Like, so
that term could either inspire you or cause you a lot of anxiety. Yeah. One or the other.
Pressure bust pipes or bring the best out of you.
Kadeem, did you have anything to share or no? You don't have to if you want to, because we were quiet this whole time.
Nah, I feel like, you know, I agree with what you said. I feel like your purpose is more so what you're passionate about. Like what you said, things that you're good at effortlessly.
Yeah.
So she probably work at the supermarket, but at home on the side, she's probably into fashion, probably trying to come up with, you know. So you can't really define your purpose by your job.
Or your value by your job.
Yeah, at all.
That's something internal. Yeah. Like, I had to realize that for me. Like, at some point, I stopped letting it bother me, and I was just like, you know what? If I'm gonna be a Costco supervisor, I'm gonna be the best fucking supervisor in this bitch. And I ended up just enjoying my job a little bit more.
Yeah, it doesn't define who you are.
It doesn't define me, because at the end of the day, when I left, like, there's people till this day, I haven't stepped foot in that place in 2 years. And there's people till this day when my parents go shop still asking about me. Oh my God, tell her we miss her. Tell her we think about her. That makes me feel good 2 years later. And I haven't even went by to visit anybody. So it's like, I know I left some type of impact because I changed my mindset. I was no longer looking at it like, oh, like this isn't a value to me. I don't mean anything by working here. No, like I'm here, I mean something, and I'm going to treat people with respect, and I'm gonna have fun at my job, and I'm gonna just do the best that I can. Fuck it.
Fuck that job and fuck them people.
Well, you just fucking hate Costco. You always hated it. So like, whatever.
Yo, Sally at the supermarket could be a future entrepreneur if she believed
She
it.
might own her own fucking supermarket.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she probably at the supermarket now, but she probably about to own about 15 supermarkets.
Sally
You know what I'm
probably
saying?
gave birth to the next president.
Come on now.
Right.
She
That could have been her purpose.
She probably
That
is
could've
the
been her
next
purpose.
president.
There you go.
Come on now. She had a supermarket. She probably like, what, 18 or something?
Right.
Never know.
Sally sounds old to me.
Yeah, Sally sounds old. I think she's 53.
Sally, sorry if you're 53. I'm sorry.
Sally.
Sorry, Sally.
All right. So to wrap this up, this was a long ass episode. Last topic, super light. Do you kiss your partner in the morning with morning breath?
Yes.
Super.
I would.
Yes.
I've done it. Yes.
Yes.
So y'all don't be like, oh, get out of here. Like,
No.
I did it before.
it was just one time.
Nah, it's more than one time. It's more than, I'm not even gonna sit up here and try to fuck. I've done it on multiple occasions.
I'm
With
doing that.
tongue or just a tap?
Nah, you just give
Nah.
it a why?
I'm not gonna lie. Morning breath, you getting it.
Cause-
Quick, simple.
Nah, I'm saying,
No opening
Pack.
of the mouth, just tight lips.
I'm not trying to cause
Don't
a
open.
Keep
not trying
that
to cause a
shit in
chemical
there.
imbalance out here this morning. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nah.
Facts. Keep that shit in
Back it
there.
up if you open your mouth.
No, do not.
Trying to
That's
unleash
drawing the line.
unleashing the dragon. Like
Unleash the dragon.
If you got a yawn, put that shit to the side.
All right, well, we're done, guys. This was a great episode. Thank you so much for coming. You were great.
Thank
Cynthia
you.
was really good.
Yeah.
We definitely need to have
Natural.
you on again.
Oh, thank
Not
you.
for real.
All right, to
What?
wrap this
To
up,
wrap this up, oh, he wants us to do a wrap
the
up.
best advice is
Okay.
no advice. That's all I gotta say.
Mind your business. Just mind your fucking business. And that's it. And again, communicate.
Word.
yes, sir.
That's it.
Out.
Going.